Hi. So, I'm having some fun right now. It's a decent day. I'm loving this. Drinking some coffee here. That's mostly what I do is just, since caffeine is a good drug, I just, as long as I can, if I'm drinking caffeine, then that's better off than a lot of other things that I could be doing. Mainly alcohol, which I'm pretty much trying to avoid. But yeah. Ginseng is really good. It's fan goes great with coffee. Part of it is that ginseng it helps balance out your adrenal glands, or kind of heals your adrenal glands. And I don't think the average coffee drinker really has much of a problem with adrenal glands, but just if you take like zero breaks type of deal, just like your adrenals can get slightly damaged from drinking too much coffee. So on top of that, there's tons of other effects that it has, like tons of other effects, but it has tons of other like what they call it, geniosides or something like that, in the ginseng. It's the chemical in there that gets you basically lifted a little bit. It's nothing crazy, but ginseng is a solid little supplement. I would recommend ginseng for people like that are young and stuff too. Like ginseng is a tonic. Ginseng's like a spiritual herb. It just takes a little bit of, I don't know the exact effects it will have if you just start taking it like on your first dose. I don't know if you will feel it. It might take 2 or 3 doses. I don't know. But you might just feel it in your first dose. If you haven't taken it, yeah. Just the fact that I use nicotine and caffeine, it just goes hand in hand with that, taking ginseng. I don't take it very often, but I take it sometimes. I take not nearly the amount that I used to take. I used to take like at least 12 pills. Each one is like 500 milligrams of ginseng. I used to take about 12 pills. Now I take about 5. It's really, that's all you need. It's just the higher doses are crazier, and ginseng is fantastic with weed. If you take ginseng before you smoke weed, you give it like an hour, take ginseng an hour before you smoke weed, that is amazing. I was actually going to try out a vitamin B1 supplement. So there's a vitamin B1 supplement that has about 40,000% of your daily value of vitamin B1, which vitamin B1 is thiamine or something like that, thiamine. And that is basically potentially the same thing as sulbutamine because of how potent of a dose that is. So I'm going to try that out eventually and get a vitamin B1 supplement. It has to be B1. But I'm going to try it out. If you don't feel like doing that yourself, I will tell you later once I get it if that worked or not. It might take like a week or so. I haven't ordered it yet. But sulbutamine is a little drug slash supplement that they took off the market for the most part from what I've seen. I haven't heard of anyone really selling sulbutamine anymore. Oh God, it was so good. It went so well with weed. Sulbutamine is so good. It's so good, dude. It's so fun. There's only really one you can buy on Amazon. The Double Wood one, they need to pick up their game a little bit because I didn't get much off of that one. But they got rid of all the good brands. So besides that point, combinations, like little dope combinations, like THC, ginseng, like a higher dose of ginseng, at least like 4 grams, at least like 4 or 5 grams of ginseng, which would be like usually like 10 pills or so, or 8 pills. Eat a small something healthy, small maybe, potentially, if you feel like that'll upset your stomach or you notice it does. I don't want you to have some trip where you throw up the first time. I can easily stomach that, but I've been using ginseng for a while. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? People have different kind of responses, or their brain responds differently to these drugs than me sometimes. Like I have a little bit of that ADHD where when I did like cocaine, it ultimately made me hyper, but it totally calmed me down at the same time. I mean, I was like thinking very like quick and stuff, but it something about the way it alleviated my depression and made me feel happy, like just this raw sense of happiness that I had going on for 30 minutes. What was I gonna say? That calmed me down. Yes, that calmed me down. It got me less of the brain fog and more focus and stuff. It's a very fascinating drug. It's just, it's like you're just gonna do the whole bag, you know. It's hard. How do you have like 2 or 3 grams on you and just kind of do one session and then put the rest away and then wait? Like, that's hard to do. Usually you want to do the whole thing back to back to back until it's all gone. Like it's too easy to do that. It just doesn't last as long. It just yeah. That was always my favorite drug of all time was probably cocaine. Second favorite, Adderall or meth. Third favorite, opiates. Tie between opiates and shrooms. Fifth favorite, weed. Sixth favorite, Robitussin. Seventh favorite, I mean, I've never tried ecstasy. I've never tried Molly, so I'm not sure. But those are all like the most soothing, the most relaxing drugs. That didn't really make any sense. Those aren't all relaxing, but those are the most euphoric drugs for me. And part of it is the gnarly creativity you get from it. You do get little creative states from these things sometimes. You gotta do it right though. It's really about being the right type of dope user. If you're a user and you're in that game, or you're just a user in the whole business, a lot of stuff is just up to you to learn however you can, right? completely risking it to get a needle and inject heroin or morphine or anything like that. Risky. You gotta learn what you're doing. Bright people. I love bright people. People with bright ideas are the best. So yeah, see this lighter? It's pretty funny, right? So yeah, again, I want to just apologize if I come across the wrong way. I get on creative sprees and I think I'm solving problems, and that would be other people's sense of, like, you think you're solving problems, you know, when it always leads toward it's hard to explain, but some people like literally know how to completely control someone else's like stuff somehow, like some really smart, intelligent people. But it would really take multiple people to have this all down with how many people there are, but they just kind of know how to completely convince someone of their own thoughts. Completely convince someone that those are their thoughts when they might not know that this person is putting those thoughts into their head and telling them what to do in the weirdest way, and they might not know that. The person might be older than you. It might, you know, they might have life is weird. Life is weird, right? It's beautiful, but it's kind of weird. So apologies to any people that got the wrong vibe from those MGTOW videos. I know those ones can get pretty controversial and stuff, and it's really about like getting more creative as men because of the denser in this reality, the denser things. That is why, because of all just the way, like, if you don't do it, you know, no one's gonna do it for you, and things like that. Or that idea, that's pretty depressing, because someone should more like not do it for you, they should just teach you how to do it. You know, instead of giving the person a fish, you give them a fishing rod and teach them how to fish. It's that principle. So someone shouldn't like do it for you, like put you in some home where you then can't leave, and then at least you get to be there, or whatever that looks like. You know what I mean? Instead, they should just teach you how to make money. They should teach you how to gain success. They should teach you like the deeper secrets of things. So, yeah. Favorite movies? I don't got much favorite movies. Not anymore. I don't know. Not sure. See if I can forget that I'm on camera. A little bit. Strap up. Yeah. But in the game, running out of ideas here. Let's look at a brief view of the property. Well, I could use the coffee. That would help. If I had more of a way to edit videos, I would do a day in the life just to show you more of a diet and what that looks like. Just because I have fun with it all. Sorry, I had to unlock that gate with that hand. So. We had this one kid over and he was like, oh man, like he's like, we didn't know you got, like your family has like real money, you know? And what's funny is he's like, you guys are like rich, you know? And I didn't think about that. Like I was thinking more of, if you've heard of Mission Hills, Kansas, I was thinking more of like how those people are really, you know, the rich ones. I literally was thinking of myself as like, oh, I wish like I had more when I was younger, at least. And it took me a while to get the gratitude in perspective as to how I've already been blessed with a lot of things. It just, is it blaming to call the economy bad? Is that, you know, is that my fault that the economy is bad? it's hard to get jobs in the food industry if you have a record. Is that my fault? It just started with 9 months of jail, and then basically coming back and then paying like the whole thing, the whole 9 months, the whole everything, the 2 charges. That was a total of probably $9,000 or $10,000. So that that set me back, because I had to pay a lot of that back. I had to pretty much pay as much as I could of that from the job that I had, and that was just clogging everything up, owing like $200 from every paycheck. And even still, then they're still, you know, I'm being let known, they're letting me know that, you know, like, we need more money, you know, hurry, you know, or you gotta pay this stuff off, you know. And it just, so I don't factually know that's the single-handed reason why I'm still at home, was those court costs. I'm not sure, but around $10,000 would be my guess. That's just what it seemed like. It was like we paid multiple payments of a couple $1,000s, and it was hard. It became hard, and I was just working and slowly paying off. I probably paid like a total of like $2,000 of that, $3,000 myself, and then the rest, like, I just started I pretty much, I don't know, but whenever I do have a job, just currently it's hard to get one. Whenever I do have a job, just, I pretty much still owe my parents money for stuff. So it set me back. The other thing was, this is kind of me assuming. It's hard to explain probably because of fact checkers, but it's just hard to get hired after having a record. It's hard. I have a good work ethic, and I'm very, very professional. I don't just bring stuff like that to the workplace. You know, I very much care about people, and I'm good. It's just a matter of getting them to see that or believe that. And so usually what I've had to resort to then is going to places where they really need people, to the point where they don't even care. They'll just kind of put me on like that, where they, you know what I mean? Those are usually the places where they're more likely to hire me. So few different places. I never was able to work at Burger King. That was one of the few, but just see how places like that, like McDonald's, was always great. McDonald's is really cool about that stuff. If you have some former thing, but you're like a better person now, like some former type of, I mean, it's not like they obviously want you to have a clean record, but just they're pretty laid back about that kind of stuff. If they can read things about you, and if it makes sense, if everything adds up with like what type of charge you had and everything, I would assume that's pretty much the dynamic I thought that I picked up on there, was that it was just, they're basically cutting me some slack here by hiring me. So let's go back. Backyard. So that all led to this, me just trying to, and it actually might really work out soon. The only thing is I have to get an Abilify shot if I want to move out. Then, because of the record, you basically have to see, then, depending on, you know, you gotta see like what apartment is gonna be cool with you basically just being there, you know? So there's multiple reasons why it just got more and more convenient. On top of that, my parents buy me hundreds of dollars worth of certain health foods. Probably on a, yeah, I don't know any amounts, but they get me like organic, vegan, whole food multivitamins and stuff. Each one is probably like a bottle of 120 pills, 120 capsules is probably $80 or 60 or probably $60. I'm not sure. And they give me 2 of those bottles. Like one is a vitamin D3, one is just a multivitamin, but they're both like a precise type of multivitamin. It's not just any multivitamin. It's like one of the top shelf multivitamins. On top of that, we have fluoride-free shower heads. We have, we drink certain specific water. There's too many things that I was trying to slowly get set up first, and then from there, get the apartment. Now, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to see about that next step. I've had a few people who we both agreed upon, like, let's get an apartment together, and then we just never did. That's happened to me like 3 times. With who? Yeah. Yeah.
Baseball?